Afternoon guys, so today I want to talk to you about koi pond turnover, so the flow rate through your particular filter system. Basically every day without fail on one of the forums or one of the Facebook groups, someone will ask the question what filter flow, what flow they should be putting through their filter, and invariably several people will quote a turnover figure. So they may say you need to put your pond through your filter once an hour or maybe twice an hour, various different numbers. Now in my opinion, I don't understand really. I just don't see why that is of any relevance at all as a variable for determining a flow, and bear with me and I will explain exactly why, and you can see what you think when I've gone through it. Basically what I think is that back in the day, or many years ago, when the majority of people built their own filters, I think this turnover variable was probably used then as a way of saying roughly how big the filter needed to be. So maybe you'd say, if your filter was this big, obviously it's not big enough for a 5,000 gallon pond. If it was the size of a house, it's too big. So I think if you say, well, I need to build my filter big enough that the volume of my pond passes through it twice in an hour, I think then as a variable for determining how big to make your own filter, maybe it had some merit. But I think that people kind of just still use that number when I just don't believe it's relevant anymore, and as I say, I'll tell you for why. So if we fast forward now, where less people make their own filters and more and more manufacturers build off-the-shelf all-in-one filters, I believe, well, each filter that you buy off the shelf, be it a multi-bay, a Nexus, an Easy Pod, whatever it is, they all have an optimum flow, a flow rate at which they are running to the absolute optimum. So I'll use the example of the pod. Well, this pond behind me runs on a pod, so I'm familiar with it, and I think a lot are. So I'll use the example of it as an Easy Pod. That Easy Pod, and there's a little debate about it, but I believe the flow to be 5,000 litres. So for talking sake, we'll say it's 5,000 litres an hour. In theory, if you go up to 5,001 litres an hour, you've gone away from optimum. You may start to pull fines through, residence times down, whatever it may be. The same token, if you reduce down to 4,999 litres an hour, again you've gone away from optimum, so you're now maybe not drawing as much through, whatever it may be, but you've gone away from optimum. So the optimum is 5,000. Now, to me, every filter has that optimum, and you need to learn what it is. It's different for a Nexus 220, a 320. It's different for a multi-bay of one size, another size, whatever. They're all different, but you need to know the manufacturer's optimum flow. You need to find yourself a pump that gives you that flow after your head loss, and then that's it. So maybe you need a 6,000 litre pump with your head loss, gives you 5,000 litre flow. Done. Now, if I give you an example, if I put a pod on a 2,500 litre pond, for example, I'm flowing 5,000 litres an hour, and my next door neighbour builds a pond that's 5,000 litres, and he puts a pod on it. Again, the optimum is 5,000 litres an hour. They both run at 5,000 litres an hour. They both run in optimum. His pond's going through his filter once an hour. My pond's going through my filter twice an hour, so double the turnover, totally different turnovers, and yet both ponds are running optimum. So you can see with a off-the-shelf all-in-one filter, turnover is entirely irrelevant. It's an output really. You optimize the flow, and the turnover is what it is. The filter doesn't know how big your pond is. It just has an optimum flow, and if you're running at optimum and that filter doesn't keep up, doesn't do the job for you, then basically you can't go to it and go, I'll tweak it down a bit, I'll tweak it up a bit, because you're going away from optimum, you're already doing the absolute best it can. So if it doesn't filter your pond, you need a bigger filter, or you need another filter, an additional filter. And that's why I just believe turnover as a variable for speccing a pond, and you know, choosing a pump, it's just irrelevant in this day and age, unless of course you know, you're building your own filter, which a lot of people do very successfully. But even then, that filter once built will have an optimum flow, and you need to find it. And when you find it, the chances of the turnover of that being exactly 2 an hour or 1 an hour, whatever, it's just slim to none. But I can see it could be, you know, useful in terms of making sure you're in the right ballpark size wise. So yeah, they're my thoughts on turnover. Now, as I say, I seem to be the only person who thinks like that, to be honest. So, you know, please leave a comment and tell me what you think. Tell me if you feel differently and why. You know, I'm obviously open. I'm here to learn. If I've not got it right, please, you know, tell me why. And we'll have a discussion, and you know, we'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah, so that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and thanks to all the people who subscribed. And please, if you're not subscribed before, you know, please do. Hit the notification icon, and if you like what I say, you know, give me a like. It all helps. Thank you very much.